welcome to Conquering Mom Scrap More with Brenda. I'm Brenda, and today we're here to show you another fun traditional little block. Now we've updated this to make it more modern and simpler to do, but if you want to do the hand applique that's needed for the stem, you're more than welcome to go for it. But first I want to introduce you to Susan at Sewing Sensation by Shady Susan. Her YouTube channel is going to be a lot of fun, and it's just one of those voices. She's, you know, a little quirky, but it's interesting the stuff she's talking about. So if you guys go check her out, that, you know, let her know that Brenda from Conquering Mount Scrapmore sent you, and you know that share, like, and subscribe and all the rest of the stuff. Now, if you're a viewer to us, you know we have a Facebook group, and they're making use of the rooms, and we're getting ready for virtual sew dates. That Zoom link is in the show notes below. Now, depending on what device you're on, I don't know how to use all the devices. I sleep with my IT department because my husband that's what he does. He loves IT stuff, so he knows all about those devices and how to get to the show notes. So you can ask questions and I'll get him to address it. If you're asking questions in the Facebook group, I'll get him to address it, because he's the IT person. Now, the other thing is we have the Zoom sew dates, and we also have a virtual sewing room in our Facebook group, and that's been lots of fun, and you actually get to meet the people that are in your community. So I hope you come join us. Now, but first we got to get to some sewing on this Posey Patchwork. Okay, we're here at the sewing machine, and here's our block layout. Now I'm going to just sit here and talk for just a second so you guys can, you know, stop the film, see how it's all laid out. You know, these parts are together, you know, there's a lot of triangles in this block, so that's what we're going to do first. But there's one thing I want to point out to you. One of these pieces is poverty piece. That means where you take two of the same like fabrics together and you piece them together to create something big enough that you can use in a patchwork. And this kind of patchwork poverty piecing was used quite a lot when our grandmothers and our great-grandmothers were, you know, in their heyday of quilting, because they only had so many scraps to work with. So, which one is poverty piece? Let me guess, right? Let you guys guess? Okay, you give up? It's this one. And you couldn't see it. And you know what? If you can't see it on this camera, your friends can't see it in your quilt. So, before we start anything else, let's get our little triangle sewn together, right? Now, I'm hoping I don't have to do a lot of trimming. And all the cutting instructions or everything are in the show notes below. Now, depending on what device you're on, you're going to have to, you know, figure out which device you're on to make those things work. Okay. I have a laptop, so I know how to do it on a laptop, but I don't know how to do this on, I don't know how to do it on most other devices. I haven't figured out fully my phone. I'm a little challenged when it comes to all the tech stuff that's out there right now. I'm just going to pop these, clip off my little dog ears, and I'm clipping it off more at an angle because I'm trying to reduce bulk, right, in those, because there's a lot of little seams in here, right? So we just clip it off at a little steeper angle and finger press to the dark. So that means this goes like this, and this goes like this. There we go. Oh, and there. And we're going to continue on with the next row. Like some of these, they're blue with blue. Blue with white. This one comes together. It's perfect for lots of little scrappy stuff. I had pulled a scrappy low volume out, and I was really surprised I was able to use almost all of it. And then I had to do the one little poverty piecing, but it wasn't very big at all. Okay, so now I'm working on the next row. So I'm going to cut these off. And what I want to do is I want to put them back into place so I don't get mixed up. Now, if I was doing an entire quilt of this, I would have a bunch of these, you know, all stacked up, and I would just run through a whole bunch of half square triangles, right? Just to move them along. So again, press to the dark. Okay. Okay, this one. This one is, doesn't matter which one is dark, because I mean you could press this open and it would still work. But you want all that angle to go this way, right? And we're pressing to the dark. Here, now let's get these last three, and then I'll show you how to do the stem. Okay. Okay, so I'm at the last two rows, and I'm just going to quickly do again with the dog ear. I hope you can see this. Clipping them off. Okay. Press to the dark, and I want a nice line. Now, when it comes to this one, what you're going to do is you're going to take that middle stem, that green stem, and then you're going to just put a little notch, just like that, in the middle of these, because what we need you to do is, I need this. You're going to make just a little divot, and then you're going to line up your divots, your little lines, right? And then you're going to sew one side, all the way down. Now this was for this particular one, this is a 3.5 inch block. So what I did is I just cut down the center for the stem and inserted a 1.5 inch or 1 inch piece. I'm not changing the size of this at all. Oops. I had to go, hold it, I had to go this way. There we go. This way. Now, once I'm past this, oops, the foot falls off, of course, because of the vibration on the sewing machine. Okay, so now I line up the other side divot to divot, right? Just like that. And I'm just gonna, what I need to do is finger press that out of the way, because that's not working out well. Okay, so then you line up divot to divot, and this way all of your half square triangle, or your triangle now, pieces are on the straight of grain, and this fits beautifully into your box. So I always add like an inch and a bit. I probably make them too long, but that's okay. I have lots of scrap. Oh my gosh, do I have lots of scrap. It's all good. So now, we are going to square them up. And what you can do is you can just square them up just by going up and across. There, just like that. And you go up and across. Now you could sit there and bring out your ruler and your cutting mat and all the rest of the stuff. That works too. Okay, so here we go. There we go. Our nice little block, right? So now we're going to go through and where you can web this block, and it works out just like this. Now look at that. I cut with 3/8, all those silly little measurements, and it worked out perfect. Like I don't even have to trim out my blocks. I'll take the next one. Okay. Okay, this is a little big. Next one. The next one. Okay, here. And the next one. Now, I'm also going to web over these ones just because this is just one big block, right? Okay. So now, there. Okay, so now we're going to web all of this together. And I'm just going to show you how to lay this out quick. Alright, so one row you want to go one way, and the other row you want to go the other way. So you go out, and then in, okay, in, this way, out, that way, and then in, this way. Because that's your posy. Oops, that's all discombobulated, but there it is. There is your posy. Now with these two, what you're going to do is you're going to pull that off. And you're going to go, one goes one way and the other goes the other way. It's fine. Just make sure you've got all of this together. Here we go. Just like that. Right? So we're actually webbing as quickly as we can through. Now, what some people have done is they've webbed, like they'll cut this right there. And then they'll just go through and web this part into a little 4-patch, right? And of course everything should line up and nest properly. Just move that out of the way. This one's going up against a solid piece, it's fine. Okay, now I'm going to do this just by flipping that over and running that across to make it solid. And I'm gonna pop open this so I match my seams. I get a lovely match. Yes, I do. And now we want to run this one seam right up the middle, because this is where this goes, right? This is where this goes. Okay, so right up the middle. Here. Now I'm just going to break this apart right here. Oops. This does not take long to do. And I'm going to flip this one that way. Okay, there we go. There we go. Get that one there. Nicely nested. These little cute 6-inch blocks are just adorable. Basically, this is a 4-patch, right? So now we get this piece, right? And we're going to add it on like that, right? That goes together. Oops. And then once we get all this sewn together, then we just have the one up the middle to bring these 4-patch, this kind of the 16-patch together, right? So I'm just going to quickly move the board aside, break open my seam so I get some nice flatter blocks going. Okay. And I got my obligatory twisted seam. That's okay. There, just cut that. And cut that. There, now it's laying flatter. Get this off. Okay. This comes together so nice, so I'm going to flatten this. Okay. There we go. Now, comes together just like that. Now, the original Posey block is an applique stem with leaves, right? Now, what you can do with this block is just make this into, you know, like a stem like that, and then just heat sink on some, you know, heat and bond leaves, and, you know, just stitch around them so you have a raw edge finish. And for what I'm doing in charity blocks, that's okay. It's a faster finish. Yes, it costs more to do, but that's okay. It's, you know, it's worth it for me. My time. I have so many things on the go in my life right now. It seems like, yeah, I need this kind of thing to do. So now I'm going to put on just, I'm going to do quick, we're going to cut right here, and I'm going to do a quick heat and bond set with some leaves, and I'll show you how to sew on the leaves. Okay, so in order to make this leaf, I just rough cut a leaf-like shape out of my heat and bond scrap, my fabric that I have that has heat and bond scraps on it. So and then I just pressed it all good with an iron. Now, I have a little box of stuff, fabric that already has heat and bond on it, so I can just use, you know, little bits and bobs of this and that all over the place. So what I'm going to do now is just give you like a real quick, you start at one end, and sometimes people say don't start in the middle, or don't start at the point. Start somewhere in the middle, and you would use, typically you would use a color that matches your, because you're basically top stitching, but you know what, this is just a fun rough little, you know, let's have some fun with this. So I mean, I don't have to switch thread colors or anything if I don't want to. And I just go through and I just make a curve, a gentle curve along this leaf. And every once in a while I'll give it another, you know, another little pull along, because sometimes they don't want to twist the way you need them. And you just basically on your raw edge applique, there's lots of different ways of doing raw edge applique, by the way. You just are running through this. Now, if I wanted to make this look really homespun now, I would take this off the machine. Oops, here we go. Oh, I got this. Why have I got this here? Okay, yeah. Now, if I wanted to, I could make this look really homespun by putting a little blanket stitch on there and, you know, having a great time with it. But that's what it is. That's what we're doing today. That's what I have time for. So let's get to this ta-da moment. Okay, so here's our little Posey block. Now, like I say, the traditional way is this is a curved bias piece of fabric, and then you put like a leaf on there, and it's all applique. If you like doing applique and that's where you want to do, by all means go do it. We did show you how to do the poverty piecing, where you just put two of the same pieces of fabric together and you can't see it. Right? You know, if you guessed which one it was, now that you know which one it is, it's kind of hard even to tell, right? So, but I hope you try this little cutie. This one comes up really quickly, or comes together really quickly, and it's a perfect way to use all those tiny little half square triangles that you might have kicking around in your sewing room. So I hope you have a very, very blissful week ahead, and everything goes right for you. So until we meet again, okay, you guys take care. Bye. My husband and I would love to thank you for coming along with us on our quilting journey and the YouTube adventure that we're on. We have some wonderful plans for 2023, and it includes a lot more, like with the Facebook group and the rooms feature and sewing and hanging out with people. Those monthly Zoom sew dates are still in the works. We have a lot of fun ideas coming up for 2023, and we hope you share, like, and subscribe with your friends. That little notification button and subscribing to us really helps us out. Commenting helps us out too. So if you like what you're seeing, let us know. Even send us a heart on the comment. That helps so much for us. Okay, you have an absolutely fabulous 2023, and all of our best wishes for you in the future. Okay, take care. Bye.